Hello everyone, Crossroads back to, and yes, what have you. Yes, that's a good enough intro. Today we have another magic deck in my rat deck, which is why it's in a trash can, because it's a rat deck. So it's in a trash can box. You hit the box, it looks like a trash can. That's all lit. Yeah. So the focus on this deck is to spam as many rats as physically possible, so that way we can avenge the queen, because she got like all murdered and stuff. But it's okay, because the guy gave you a mask, and he's gonna like give you a big old knife, and knives make everything better. And what the hell am I talking about? We make a lot of rats. So before I ramble any further, let's get into this. Okay, you know what I got right here? Nothing, probably just the rats. And we'll start it with my swarm of rats. Now, a swarm of rats is a 2-drop, power equal to the number of rats you control, and toughness is just a 1. It's a pretty decent card for when you're trying to get out as many rats as physically possible. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but we have a better card coming up, which makes this even better. And next up, we have a rat colony of 4. Now, this is just overall better. It gets +1 for each other rat you control. Wait, that does the exact same thing. But this one is like 2-1. Why aren't I just running more of this? A deck can have any number of these. Huh. Well, I just like the old one. How about that? So, that's Rat Colony. And next up, we have a pack of pack rats. Probably the best rat in the game, like, by far. Definitely the one that you absolutely want to see. Like, I don't give a rat's ass about the other ones, but this one right here, oh, it's the real Master Splinter. Pack rats' power and toughness are equal to the number of rats you control, and you can pay 3, discard a card, put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of this card. So, if you had like one of those that you just don't need right now, you could just turn it into one of these, and that's just overall a lot better because it gives the toughness as well. So, you need this if you're going to build this deck. Alright, next up, we have Piper of the Swarm. Piper of the Swarm is a 2-drop. Rats you control have menace, so they have to be blocked by 2 or more. And you can pay 2, create a 1/1 rat creature token, and then sacrifice 3 tokens, or 3 rats for 4 mana, and gain control of target creature. Which is okay. If there's something that you really like on the field, go ahead and, just nab that, and boom. You get to make a bunch of rats, and yeah, just overall a real cool guy. Now we have a bit of a utility rat, a rat that helps us cook a bit, a ratatouille, if you will. Jesus. It is Carmunix the Rat King, and what this guy does is he has Toxic 1, and other rats you control have Toxic 1. Whenever this creature ETBs, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal any number of rat cards from among them, and put them into your hand. The rest go in the bottom in a random order, which, it's pretty good. You're gonna get, it's like a lot of draw, essentially. It's just good draw, and then it gives the rats a new win con with the plague, which is pretty awesome. Fun fact, it was more likely gerbils that had the plague, not the rats. Blame the gerbils. The rats didn't do anything. I rep for the rats. I like rats. They're cool. Rats. Okay, and now last for the creatures, we have a playset of Lord Skitter, Sewer King. Whenever this card ETBs, you can exile 1 target card from an opponent's graveyard. Now, as you could probably tell with like the other stuff that we got going on, this right here is super unimportant ability that we don't give a damn about. The real ability we care about is at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 rat creature token with this creature can't block. Now that's what we care about. Many rats, people. As many as physically possible. And, I mean, come on. He's a giant rat lord. That's just cool. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, so now that we got that, let's get into our spells. Okay, Corvo was nothing if not for those cool, awesome magic powers that he got from a sick hand tattoo. So let's show off what ours can do. First one being Rat Out. Rat Out is probably the coolest art in a card that I've seen so far. It's just a man whipping a rat. And the ability reflects that. For 1 mana, up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1, and you create a 1/1 rat creature token with this can't block. That's just funny. That's awesome. Next up, I have a playset of Nameless Inversion, which is pretty cool for 2 mana. It's a changeling for reasons. This spell can be a people if it wants to be. No, it can't. Target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn. So it's pretty good. You need to put it onto one of your already really buff rats. So he can't use it on one of your little guys. I wouldn't recommend, because then your other guys go down a number because it loses the creature type of rat. But overall, this is a good destroy spell, and it can buff you to help you get in game. It's just a nice little thing, just a little touch, you know? Give the rats a little bit of a fighting chance. Next up, we have a playset of Lab Rat. Lab Rat is a 1-drop with a buyback of 4, and we're probably not going to do that unless we're really bored with our mana, but you get to put a 1/1 rat creature token into play. And that's pretty cool. Quick question. So these ones right here, they're obviously like a normal looking rat. But why are normally lab rats white? Is that a thing? Did scientists do that because they were bored? They're like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but what if our rats also have little coats? And that's why? Or is it just a type of rat they picked? What's the deal with the rats in the labs? Do they have PhDs? I don't know. Blake, Google if any rat has a PhD. Oh, and why the lab rats are white. Okay. And now, last up for our spells, we have 3 copies of Unearth. Just because it's pretty handy whenever we discard a card to make the pack rat tokens. This right here for 1 mana, return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty good. And it has cycling if you don't want it, which, you know, more draw. It's pretty decent. I mean, this is up to you if you want to run this one. I personally like it because, you know, people always think they're funny with that murder up until it don't work. Okay, well, the last thing that we have to do is get into our land. Okay, got the land. We're going to start off with 3 copies, bump it up to 4 if you want to, of Rogue's Passage. We all know what it does. It's here to tap colorless mana, and for 4 mana, it's going to make something unblockable. Which, that's going to be big for when we have freaking 20 rats and we have our pack rats, and we're just going to swing in with the pack rats. Just hit right to face. Boom. No ninjutsu needed, just ninja rats. And then, last up, we have a ton of swamps. And that's pretty much the whole deck. We are running 19 of these, and look how pretty these are. Look how pretty. They're from the unsets. I thought they were quite nice for this deck. Plus, I wanted to kind of have this deck be a challenge for, like, squirrels or something. So I wanted to give them land from the same set. I thought that was a clever idea. Either that or I'm just being weird. Alright, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Only one last thing to do. Boom. It's magic. Movie magic. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and maybe watch another, because we have plenty more. You all have yourselves a merry little whatever. I will catch you on the next one.